What's going on, y'all? So today I felt compelled to make another video. In a nutshell, this is just gonna be on the Matrix, and people are still gonna call me crazy and say like, "Yo, like, why are you still talking about this? Like, what is the Matrix?" So I'm gonna break that down for you in the video. So in a nutshell, basically the Matrix is pretty much society in a nutshell. So people will like ask questions like, what is society? Like, how do you define it? And even in like the sociology class that I'm taking like now this semester, which is ending, that was one of the questions that our professor had, and we couldn't really define it because it's just hard to define. Like, you can't physically point out society and say this is what it is, like the way that you could identify a rock. So that's the main reason why it's hard for people to understand. So when people talk about the Matrix, a good way to pretty much define it, or a synonym I would say, would probably just be the society in a nutshell, but it's more social programming. So you can start off with personal story of mine. So we kick it back all the way to, I want to say, I would say after my birthday. After my birthday, freshman year in high school. So I would say like around the time after I turned 15, um, we had like, I think it was like a trip. Oh no, it was a retreat. Yeah, it was a retreat that we had, and since it was a Catholic school, they made us do a lot of reflection and stuff, and we got to really like talk to each other and really connect like as a school. So coming up for that trip, we had to buy clothes. Well, I did because I didn't really own a lot of like casual clothes. Since I was doing sports, I had like sweatpants and athletic clothing and stuff. So I had to yeah, knuckle down and buy some jeans. So I feel like that's where it all started. So I go to Old Navy, I buy jeans and a t-shirt, and I'm just buying like clothes that I think look cool and just stuff that I found interesting, and I put it on. And it was pretty much just based on what I saw through social media, because at that time that's when I began using social media, and that's when I started to like change myself and my persona. But I started overall just using social media more, and that's where like the clothing aspect came in. I wore the clothes, we had the trip, and it was just new, like wearing different clothing, and just the persona that you take on when you wear different things. I started to notice that that happened too. So after that, we fast forward to like the summer. So summer 15. So that was a special summer because I had gone to Georgia, so we spent time with my aunt there, and that's when I really started changing. And I feel like that was like the intro to the Matrix. And I started wearing like a lot of like really, really, I would say like mainstream media clothes, because there's no other way to put it, but it was just like clothing that I would see people, in mainstream media wearing. So a lot of like expensive shoes, fancy pants and stuff, ripped jeans, stuff like that. And it just continued like even on into sophomore year, because I was in the freshman year. So going to sophomore year, like whenever we would have dress down days, since we were a Catholic school, I will be wearing ripped jeans, a t-shirt, and some like J's that I bought from LA that I still have. Um, and I would just be wearing that. And that was kind of like where my headspace was in regards to clothing. Because the first thing I would think about would be from bottom up. So it would be shoes. It would be, it wouldn't even be based on looks. It would pretty much just be based on what I would see. So mostly J's or running shoes, and then for pants, it would be ripped jeans and t-shirt, and it would just be stuff that I would see other people wearing. And you're just like, yo, like I'm gonna just match into the system and match into what other people wear. So over that time, so going from sophomore year, so the end of the year, not the end of the school year, but the end of the year, so the end of 2015, that was when I started to like save money to buy clothes. So I saved up an entire year, and it was bad because I even like would not eat when I had work, my work days, because I would be trying to save up. And I think after, I'm gonna say like the end of sophomore year, so going into junior year, I saved up a lot. So that was summer, I think it was summer 16. Yeah, going into junior year. And I had lost money because I got scammed by a Chinese website. So I lost about, I wanna say $700, $800, like all at one time. And it was devastating. And after that, that's when I planned out, to save more for the future and to try to kind of be done saving by the end of that year. So I had to wait another half year. And the good thing is that it taught me discipline and how to like wait and be patient, and just to be patient with your money and to just be focused on the long-term goal. But after that, I want to say going into like the time where I felt like I was actually done. So going into like the middle of junior year, I would say I was still buying clothes and stuff. And even going forward from there, going into the end of junior year, going into senior year, like before I went to LA, and I was wearing fancy clothes. So skipping forward to, I want to say, after I began to work out and I started taking, my health seriously, and I started focusing on things that I saw as more important, that's when my whole mindset shifted. So I think it was like around the time when I was in my senior year. So after I went to LA and I started working out, I feel like my values changed and I started focusing on fitness and, things that actually made an impact versus other people's views on you. And it was just amazing because I remember putting on clothes one time and just being like, yo, this is empty. Like I bought all the stuff that I needed, and when I would go out, it would just be tiring to put on all that stuff and then have to take it off. And after a while, it's like, what's the point of this? Like, people don't compliment you. And some people will, don't get me wrong. Some people will. But the thing that I learned from it was that, like, the main motive was just because I wanted other people to, just to see, well, not to see, but just to react to what I had on. And, just doing it, for other people's opinions and approval. And people might say, oh, I don't do it for other people, but hands down, you do. And some people try to hide it, but it's true that you do. And that's why whenever I shop or I talk to people about shopping and stuff, I always say, if you were the last person on earth, would you buy this? Clothing wise. Now, object wise, that's a bit different because you can actually use certain things. But I would say clothing wise, because a lot of people tend to spend a lot of money on clothing and makeup and a lot of cosmetics and stuff that people consider and that I consider accessories. They tend to spend a lot of money on. And that's why I always say, at least think that. Like, it's not wrong. Like, if you are a fashionable person and you like fashion and you like wearing stuff and it helps you express yourself and it feels good, all power to you. You do your thing. But I think we should still really keep that in mind. That question that I asked, if you were the last person on earth, would you wear this? And it really made me think. It really made me think. And I thought about it one day and I was like, yeah, would I really wear this? Would I really wear this thing? So after a while, that's when I started realizing like it's just really empty. Like a lot of stuff that you do is for other people. And after a while, I started wearing like my old stuff, like sweatpants and just random clothes. And, you just fade out and you stop focusing on other people's opinions and stuff. And I saved a lot of money. So that was the other good thing. And just going out and not worrying about what you're wearing, just putting on clothes that, there's still some style to it, but it's not overly flashy and you're not always, competing and buying the next thing that comes out, and you save a lot of money. So that's my personal experience. Like and subscribe for more. This is part one. So my next video, I'll probably talk about like mainstream media and how that people are like connected and kind of brainwashed to it. So that'll be the next video. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you. So